The farm too when you were growing
Well,
up. What you do?
Dad bought the farm in 1930 when I was 10 years old, and did not. Oh, Charlie, he committed the real indiscretion. Mother was never allowed to write a check or drive a car. They're funny stories, loads of funny stories there. But so he bought the farm when she was having the last baby, Myra, and she hated her name, Myra. My mother hated her name. And he named the baby,
Myra.
And he bought the farm.
Oh,
and he came in and stood there when she couldn't say anything to him in the hospital and said, I bought a farm, 64 acres, and I've named the baby. And she could. And Charlie, the help hated the farm. There were 3 in help. Oh, you want the fingers better?
Did they go back and forth between the house and?
And Charlie, if they got the day off or the night off or anything, we had to drive them to Westview to the streetcar, and they went in there and then came out. And then and my father loved it so much, and my mother hated the farm, and she had to learn to make butter and churn milk and do all that crap, but she just hated it. She finally got to liking it because it was a social thing. She could have a lot of people out there.
And you guys summered out there pretty much?
He would take us out, Charlie, out of school in the middle of June. In June, school went longer then. He would take us out really, maybe the 1st of June, maybe even. So, you're a character. And then we wouldn't go back in, Charlie, to school till like the end of September. And he drove this old Cadillac, and it smelled. Both dogs had puked in the back corners of it. And he would bring us to school, and he got bored with it, so he'd go different ways. He'd go one way, and we were always just barely making it to school. And one time we were going down Shady Avenue, and my boyfriend was walking down the street, and he said, I'll pick him up. I said, no, he'd rather walk. He really would rather walk. He needs the exercise. But the maid, they would take the laundry, and we would be riding in with a stinky laundry on one day a week, all the stinky laundry in the bags and all. He's driving wherever he wants and doing whatever.
Where'd you go to school?
Alderdice.
Oh, okay.
And Gail and I both went to Linden. Somebody said, were you?
Boy, my kids at the home would laugh today to say that you're like an Alderdice alumni.
Yeah.
But you're white.
Because it is. Charlie, when we moved in, and Johnny, I don't blame him, he was unhappy when we moved. We looked into Alderdice, and he couldn't hack it at all. Not because it was black, he just couldn't hack it. Well, you're ordinary.
Yeah, he's like, hey man, I'm eating here.
Yeah. But I loved the farm, and my sister Joanne loved the farm, and the boys hated it because only Bill got the car. He was God. Bill
and
was
otherwise,
God.
you're in. Think about it, because you were out on what's the McNIGHT Road?
Right at the beginner's.
Schools.
Yeah.
But then it would have been...
Oh, it was a dirt road, Charlie. We rode the horse down it.
It was